6 o'clock, top of the hour. And can I say, first of all, please, welcome to this year's annual town meeting. The purpose of a town meeting is held annually and gives electors the opportunity to raise issues in relation to Biddulph. This is not a regular town council meeting. And we start off, please, by listening while I recite the preamble with regard to recording. This meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Biddulph Town Council YouTube page. The aim is that decision-making should be transparent and in the public domain, which will involve more of our community in local democracy. By being in this council chamber, you are consenting to being recorded and for your image to be added to YouTube. The images and sound may be used for training purposes. Any views expressed are the speaker's own and do not necessarily reflect the view of Biddulph Town Council. Please view the guidance on recording in public meetings policy if you need more information. So first of all, please, do we have any apologies for absence?
Yes, councillors Eardley, Brady, Hawley, Fletcher and Hart.
Thank you. It's now time to receive the minutes of last year's annual town council meeting. And they're part of the pack. And I will just mention them by heading. Please, if you have any comments, please indicate. We have those present and in attendance. Apologies received on that occasion. We confirmed the minutes of the then previous meeting, which was the one held in May 2023. The presentation of the annual report and achievements for 23-24 by the then town mayor. We had a presentation on the town council current areas of work, including feedback from other organisations which were celebrating anniversaries that year. We then had the open forum to discuss any other issues raised by any elector present. And there was one person who came to raise an issue, and we also received one by correspondence. The issues may receive councillors' responses on the night, but any serious discussion and decisions arising will be made by the appropriate council committee in due course. That is a procedure. So simply to present these minutes, and I take it that there are no comments upon them. Thank you. We now come to this year's annual report. And highlights and draft copy. No, it's okay. It's the chief officer has agreed to give us the details of these, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my pleasure to discuss with you this evening the draft annual report, which there are paper copies available of. And after this evening, we will put the draft report onto the Town Council website. So it's this document here that I'm just going to have a quick gallop through, if that's okay. So we're looking back at the year 24-25, as is usually the format of our annual reports. We start off with a summary of the year from the past mayor. So that's Councillor Nigel Yates, who discusses all the things that he was up to in that year. Then we've moved on to talk about 2024-25 being a year of key partnerships and capital projects. So we always say that we are able to deliver the projects that we do within the town because of the relationships we have with our partners and because of additional funding that we're able to secure as a result of those relationships. So, for example, the first one that we've got on there is the Biddle Scratch. So we reintroduced the Biddle Scratch, which is our cinema showing in this financial year, and we had funding to do that through Film Hub Midlands, which is a lovely partnership, which is considered into continued rather into this financial year as well. We continue to host other film projects throughout 24-25, such as our Feast and Flicks and our children's film showings as well. And Feast and Flicks was part of our Biddle Works Together project, which was in its third year in 24-25. This is a project where a wide range of partners come together to provide free food, warm spaces, and opportunities for interaction amongst people who potentially don't have that all the time, to tackle loneliness and social isolation. So as I say, that's the third year that that's been going on. And we estimate so far within 24-25, although there are a couple of figures still outstanding from partners, that we've probably provided somewhere in the region of 7,000 meals. Lots and lots of events during 24-25, and quite a number of those were supported by other projects as well. Within the document, there are some photographs for you to kind of jog your memory with. We had the Classic Vehicle Show, which is now an annual event, which happens in September. We reintroduced the Volunteer and Civic Awards ceremony, Christmas Town light switch on, which is obviously an annual event as well. During 24-25, we were really proud to celebrate 50 years of Biddle Town Council. So as a town council, we were created in 1974, and we were delighted to be able to welcome back as many past mayors as were available at that opportunity. So there's a picture within the report of those people. UK Shared Prosperity funding came into the town last year, following work the previous year. So we were delighted to host our first garden festival where we attracted Rachel de Tame from Gardeners World. That was a really lovely event. And we hosted our first Chinese New Year, which was also funded by a Shared Prosperity Fund and the Outside Arts Project. We, through UK Shared Prosperity Fund again, Film Hub Midlands, we were able to enhance the surround sound in the hall itself. So we've been able to invest in additional kit and fittings around the building, which make the experience for people who are visiting to watch film much better. UK Shared Prosperity Fund also supported the Town Hall Frontage Regeneration Project, which is obviously still ongoing. And we were able to install a new mosaic bench at the Station Road Gardens. We had funding from partners as well, from Moorlands Partnership Board and from the District Council to bring back mining lamps to the St John's Road roundabout, which is a very positive project for the community and a number of levels, but it enabled us to enhance public art within the town, which we've been looking to do, and also to celebrate our important mining heritage. Moorlands Partnership Board again helped contribute towards the restoration of the trough at Overton Road. So the document here contains before and after photos of that. And we continue to work in partnership to improve facilities within the town. So we've supported the installation of a new sewage treatment project programme at the visitor centre at the Country Park, and through funding from the county councillors at the time, we were able to install new windows at the visitor centre as well. Towards the end of the year, we started a project called Chain Reaction with partners from across a wide range of different organisations. The idea being to have cycle-related projects across Staffordshire Moorlands for a year. So that started in April, and there's lots of photos there. And as previously, we've planted lots of trees. There's a photo of us looking quite muddy on page 12, which is usually the way after you've planted 450 odd trees. So that's something that we commit to doing every year, and we find different homes for those trees in line with the aspirations of the town council. We've been fortunate to secure some funding for the development of a Library of Things project this financial year, so we'll be working on that, and that will come through the Town and Communities project. And we continue to allocate in the region of £70,000 to different groups within our community to support their activities. And that's a wide-ranging list of groups. So it can be Biddulph and Bloom, for example, Citizens Advice, Guys and Brownie groups, whatever groups apply for the funding at the time. There's some information towards the end of the report about places where you can access further information, some detail there. So obviously we managed 3 sites within the burial grounds, and we were responsible for the interment of 95 people during 2024-25. And we've been successful in getting planning permission for the development of a new Garden of Remembrance. So that's a project that we'll take forward this financial year. Our allotment sites continue to be full, and as is usually the case, there are around 30 people on the waiting. The annual report contains unaudited figures in relation to our finances. We don't get those finalised until the external auditor has submitted their report, usually around September time. But we have gone through the internal audit process already, so it's just a matter of kind of following that annual process through. I think that probably brings me to the conclusion of that. My colleagues have handed out this booklet to you this evening. This we've put together is a summary of things that happened throughout the year. I think it's very easy at this point to look back at the year to forget the things we've talked about, forget the people we've interacted with, and the number of calls that we've had and the number of exchanges that we have and different interactions. And so I think it's useful. If you find yourself unable to sleep at night, this is a useful document to remind us just exactly what we do as a town council. The number of people that we impact within our town. All right?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much to our Chief Officer. Such an eloquent report for highlighting this, which I think not only is for our benefit, but it's for us to remind others who are sometimes critical of councils and critical of the value they get for money, just what they're getting in their precept from Biddulph Town Council. I think we should all be very proud of it. The next item on the agenda is entitled Presentation on Town Council Current Areas of Work. In practice, the contributors to this will be our chairs of the 4 committees which are part of the council structure. There are 4 committees. The first on my list is that of the Finance, Strategy and Management Committee, and look upon Councillor Wayne Rogers to present the report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Some of this will be repeated from the annual report that Chief Officer just mentioned, but I'll just go through some of the highlights. Been a very busy year again for the Finance Committee. Thank you for everybody who sits on that committee for all your input. We've had a very positive external audit. Again, demonstrated the accounts are well maintained and processed and effective. So that's down to the staff that we don't always see on the front line, but the backroom staff do an awful lot of that. We mentioned this, but I will mention it again. We've approved finance for 4 capital projects. That's the miners' lamps. I think that's a major one, really, because obviously there was a big outcry when the lamps were taken away and now they've been restored, thanks to Biddulph Town Council. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be in there in the first place. The mosaic bench in Station Road, that's been an ongoing project for a little while, and now it's finished and well thought of, actually, and people really talk about that. The trough on Overton Road, that's been in the process for many years, and now it's complete. And the town hall frontage, which, no secrets, there's a lot of work going on there at the front, which hopefully will be finished with this nice weather on time, hopefully before September, when we have a big event coming in September. We approved policy and quotations for the management of the functions, of all our functions. We approved a 5-year strategy, allocated £70,000 of grants, as the Chief Officer mentioned. That's to keep the town going and looking nice, really, in many ways. Approved the community of cyber essentials project. So we had a big presentation on that a little while ago. Another major one for the town, really, Biddulph Works Together funding has been secured again. Is that for the, is that the third year, is it now?
Is it fourth?
Fourth, is it now? Fourth year. A lot of people rely on that. You know, it's an essential thing for the town. We've set a challenging budget for 25-26. Another one. We've looked at the lettings and booking conditions of the town hall. Staff management, we've looked at that one again. We've done all through the staff and the everybody's happy at the moment, we seem to be. Looked at the waste management processes, that's in the kitchen area as well, partly, where we segregate waste at the moment. Now, all this and a lot more, really, we could go on with facts and figures. We had a big discussion in the finance a little while ago about the precept of the town, and we've kept it down as little as possible. We've had to do a little rise this year, but in Band D, it's still less than £10 per household per year, and that covers everything that goes on in this town. Well, a big thank you, really, which don't always get, is to the staff, all the documents obviously put together by the staff. I won't mention names because I might miss one out and upset somebody, but all the members of the town hall staff are a key issue of the running of this town. So thank you very much for what you do. When you walk through the door and pick up a file like that, you don't realise how many hours work have gone into producing that file. So thank you very much. But thank you to all them staff members. And thank you everybody for supporting me in the finance committee. And if you want me again in the future, vote me in. Simple as that. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any comments? Any? Thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor Rogers, for that report. Now we turn to the second of the committees, the Planning Committee, and its chair, Councillor Jim Garvey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning Committee is a statutory consultee in the planning process. We meet every third Tuesday throughout the year, with a couple of exceptions for the holiday months. It's worth pointing out that we are a statutory consultee, not the planning authority. That planning authority resides at SMDC. We review all planning applications that are made in Biddulph or made in the Biddulph area within our purview, and they're reviewed by the committee. However, while we're not the planning authority, we are the originators and the owners, in conjunction with the residents of the town, of the latest planning document, which is the Biddulph Neighbourhood Plan and Neighbourhood Development Order. It is our role to ensure that all plans and applications that are put in for the Biddulph area take into account the policies within the neighbourhood plan. That's essentially our responsibility. And as a result of that, we can make recommendations. As I say, we're not the planning authority, but we can recommendations to the planning authority regarding any plans that come in. Throughout this year, we've probably looked at between 75 and 120 planning applications. We've been thorough and rigorous in terms of applying the neighbourhood plan policies. We've set up a neighbourhood plan implementation group to review our our decision-making process, and to review particular applications that come in where they impact significantly the neighbourhood plan policies. That working group reports into the planning committee. We've also been responsible this year for briefing and ensuring that the SMDC planning department take into consideration and recognise and reference the neighbourhood plan policies. That's been very successful, and we're now seeing the fruits of that in that applications may now, I think there's been one specific one where it was rejected by the planning authority because it failed to comply with our neighbourhood plan policies. By and large, that's usually an exception, but they are now taking them into account. I think that's been a very major step forward for us as a planning committee. That's all I have to say at this point. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you very much. And are there any comments or questions for councillor Darby? No. Well, thank you very much, councillor Darby, for that. We now turn to the third committee, that the Recreation and Amenities Committee. Now, unfortunately, the chair of the committee, councillor Hart, is unable to be with us tonight. He was with us last Tuesday, but can't get here tonight, I'm afraid. So in his absence, the deputy chair, councillor Adam Parks, will be presenting the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. So yes, apologies on Andrew's behalf, but I'm sure everybody in this room is aware as to why he is kind of back in action, but he is limiting what he's doing. Tomorrow he is sharing resources at the district, so I think he's sort of saving all his energy for that, which I think makes a lot of sense. The key areas of the Recreation and Amenities Committee are the burial grounds and the gardens of remembrance, the allotments, and a more general thing of green spaces, but look particularly this year, focusing on where there is opportunities for partnership work to support the tourism strategy, both locally and on a wider scale. So a very, very concise précis of the headlines of the Recreation and Amenities Committee is this. And of course, our Chief Officer has already stated some of the headlines with regard to the number of internments and the oversubscription of allotments in what she's already said. So the memorial testing has been completed across 3 sites at the burial ground, thus ensuring the grounds are not just safe, but more aesthetically as good as they can possibly be. There has been significant revisions to the allotment policy and paperwork, and I'd say it was the best way to describe it is the policy is now fit for 2025 and maybe needed some quite updating, and we've actually done that. Because popularity of the allotments is clear for all to see. But in reality, I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And I know that when allotment groups get together, they can be quite a feisty a group. But this year's meeting of the allotment group was quite a calm and tepid affair, which kind of implies that they must be in agreement with the policy or it was too hot. We have moved forward with the plans to create the new Garden of Remembrance at Woodhouse Burial Ground, and that has included looking at designs for both the grounds and the headstones. And Chief Officer, it's now in the hands of the
Back with the architect.
Back with the architect.
There you
Yeah,
are.
that absolutely. But I know that's something that we're all really keen to get off the ground, and it will be beautiful. In terms of the tourism strategy, we are a partner in the Trent Valley Way project, which is including the head of the Trent and Ibersley Reservoir footpath development. And also on a similar ilk, we're a partner in the transforming of the Trent Headwaters project to the Staffordshire Wildlife Trust. And once done, I think those will be 2 incredible aspects of the tourism strategy in this region, and it'll be 2 absolutely beautiful walks. So that is the recreation amenities for the past 12 months.
Thank you, councillor Parks. Are there any questions or points for councillor Parks? No? Well, once again, thank you. Thank you very much. It's now turn of the 4th of these committees, the Town and Community Committee, and I look to its chair, councillor Charlie Smith, to give us the report, please.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been a real privilege to have been the chair of Town and Communities again for the year 2024-25. For those unfamiliar of the responsibilities of that committee, it relates to all matters except creating council policy relating to the town centre management, regeneration, events such as markets and Christmas lights, partnerships with stakeholders, town hall management, tourism, neighbourhood plan implementation, young people, heritage restoration, ceremonial occasions, i.e. Remembrance Sunday, and projects, and considering all matters pertinent to the mayoralty as well. And last but not least, and often contentious, public toilets. So I'm here today just to give a bit of a whistle-top tour of some of the accomplishments of this committee this year.
Some projects you might know of, others will have gone on in the background, but we've got them done. Biddulph Works Together continues to be a triumph and a testament to the town's absolute dedication to co-production and togetherness within the town. The scheme, for those unfamiliar, provides warm spaces, often a brew, and some food and activities within the community at no cost to the participants, ensuring our community have a warm and friendly space to go. And this has been funded by the Town Council for 4 years now and has been an incredible project. So full credit has to go to our wonderful officers for the sheer volume and quality of the events held in Biddulph over the last 12 months, some of which include the Classic Car Show, Biddulph Scratch Cinema and Feast and Flicks, and all the Mayor's events, including Biddulph's Got Soul, and the visit of a bootleg Robbie Williams, and a plethora of further mayoral events, including the bike ride to London, which was supported by the officers and the staff at Biddulph Town Council. We had civic events, we had commemorative events and culturally important events such as VE Day, D-Day landings, and our very first Chinese New Year celebration, which was incredible and vibrant. And we also supported Biddulph Festival. Other actions of note from this committee include the signing off on our very own over 50s project report, which makes some really interesting reading. Completed research project for the Biddulph Works Together and published and arranged by Councillor Jill Salt with her other hat on. Completion of the Mosaic Bench community engagement project with the fantastic artist Phil Hardacre. Several heritage projects, including the Overton Road Troughs refurb and the refurb of the Miners' Lamp and the installation of them. Other areas of work completed were the Nature in Your Neighbourhood project. We became a part of the Cultural Strategy Advisory Group this year. Really pleased that we're moving forward with our Library of Things project, having achieved the funding, and hopefully that will come to fruition in the next financial year. We also became a cooperative council. We took part in the Chain Reaction project, and we delivered mental health first aid courses. And these were extremely well attended, with the hope that this will continue again for the next year. There are probably many more events not mentioned, and this committee continues to contribute to community wellbeing through innovative and trailblazing ideas that should be the envy of all of Staffordshire. I once again thank our officers and staff for supporting the Town and Community Committee and my fellow councillors for their support this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments for Councillor Smith? Well, thank you very much, Councillor Smith, for that report. And that concludes the 4 reports from the chairs of those committees, which takes us now to the next agenda item, the open forum. Now, this is to discuss any other issues raised by, it says here, by any elector present. But in fact, there are 2 sources of other issues, one being written questions or matters or emailed ones. And I understand from Chief Officer that there have been none of those received. The other is matters raised by electors who are present here at the meeting. Are there any of those to be raised, please? Yes, sir.
My first time here, and looking forward to a very interesting year or 2.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your very good reports.
Yes, it's Mr. Mike Broom I'm speaking to, is it?
Councillor.
Councillor Mike Broom. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Can I ask a quick question, please, of Councillor Mike Boone? Could you have your best email to contact you on with all the jobs you have to put forward to you? What's your best email address to contact you on? Okay, that's the one then. Okay, yeah, just making sure that's the one you want us to use. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Sorry, they haven't made you be Michael. They haven't made you into a Michael.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
So are
Any other
those the
questions?
comments? Any little further points, please? In which case, at, well, exactly 6:30, declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much for your attendance.
Mr. Mayor,
Happy with the bits I've just put in to me.